So my dream was always to be in the NBA, man. It was all or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I was a pretty smart kid. I went to my classes. I'm not saying if I didn't make it in hoop.
I had to stop it right quick, and I'm gonna let the song play, and we're gonna chop it up. But this is the mindset that you have to have in order to be successful, especially over here in this matrix system. It have to be all or nothing. No matter what you dealing with in life, no matter what you up against, it have to be all or nothing. And a lot of you individuals, you don't have this mindset. All or nothing. When it comes to your spirituality, when walking with the Most High, it got to be all or nothing. When it comes to relationship, it have to be all or nothing. When it comes to being successful in your career or your business, when it comes to maximizing your talent, your skills in a relations like Paul Pierce, you talk about NBA or whatever the case may be, you have to have this mindset all or nothing. It can't be no plan B. When you cross that bridge to go to war, you have to burn your bridge. You have to burn your boats, so to speak. And that's a sign that you're not turning around. You're going to, as 50 Cent say, get rich or die trying. You're going to become successful or you're going to die trying. It's all or nothing. And I've been seeing a lot of people that's moving in different sectors of life, and they put on the front, they doing it through false pretense, and they just making a havoc of it. It's sickening. It's sickening. And I'm going to talk about, yes, I'm in the truth and I like to go to comedy shows. Yes, I like to go to comedy shows. So, those of you that going to talk about me, whatever the case may be. But I like to go to comedy show. But what individual got up there, and especially a particular guy popular in Detroit Metro, and he was straight trash. He was straight trash. And I know he don't have this mindset all or nothing, because how trash he was up there with the mic, how bad he was. It was horrible. It was horrible. And I can't speak for any of y'all, but when I see somebody that's taking up a task or taking up whatever endeavor they may be taking up, and I don't see that it's all or nothing, I see they playing with it, it vexes my spirit, especially when money is being spent, right? And I'm happy that I didn't spend no money, right, to go see this individual, but it was just sad. Whenever you put your hands to, the scripture said you ought to do it with all of your might. You'll find that, I believe that's Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Whatever your hands find to do it with all of your might. And you can't be successful whether you a preacher, whether you a comedian, whether you is a businessman, whether you an NBA player, basketball player, football player. You have to do it with all of your might. You have to have all or nothing, or you're not going to reach the level of success that you think. You're only going to be doing little pity potty. But let's get some more of this.
I wouldn't have been nothing, but I would have found a way to do something, whether it be sports or just succeed in life, because I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder, and I'm going to find a way.
You're going to find a way to figure it out.
Yeah.
You just devoted. It's not that you couldn't have been better in your books, but the books was about, let me do what I need to do to make sure this basketball thing pans out. And if that basketball thing don't pan out, then I'll think about something else. But you got a singular focus. And I think you have to.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I got a plan B, I got a plan C, I got a plan C. Nah, I got plan A. Right. If A don't work, after a couple of years, if A don't work out, I'll get to B, C, and D. But right now, it's all A.
See, I just said it. This is how you got to be. There's only plan A. I ain't burning the bridge behind me. I'm not retreating. I'm not going back. I have to make it. And I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make it. Right? And this particular comedian, he was trash. He was garbage. I can tell he's not working on his craft. I can tell he don't have this mindset. I can tell he didn't burn his bridge. I can tell he's not working on a new set. I can tell he's not working on new jokes. That shit that you've been doing for the past 3 years is garbage, man. You need to come up with something new. Okay? And I'm speaking to not just, this individual because it made me mad. It vexed my spirit. Right. But that's like I said, for anything in life. Listen, you have to have all or nothing. You got to put in work. If you're not putting in the work, how you expect to get anything out of it? Okay. And my mind working on it's like I said, Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10, whatsoever your hand find to do it, do with all of thy might. This is what you got to do.
And then you don't realize how hard you really work, or like people say it,
Yeah.
but they don't do what it takes to actually get to the dream.
Yeah.
You know, like me, when everybody going out, man, I'm telling you, man, me and my boys, we used to, when I was like in college, we would go out to the club and we'll leave the club and go to the beach and run. And go to the sand dunes and run up that hill. We were so obsessed with it. We was like, man, you know what? Ain't nobody talking about nothing tonight. Let's go. Let's go to.
And this is why we are looking at Paul Pierce right now. This is why he's popular. This is why he got things popping, because he was willing to make the sacrifice. See, a lot of you guys, you're not willing to make the sacrifice. You're too caught up with the spirit of folly. The spirit of folly. And what that is, entertainment. Want to be, into something that's stimulating your pleasure, your fun. The scripture talk about a woman, 1 Timothy chapter 5, I think it's around the 6th verse, and it applies to men also. She that give herself to pleasure is dead while she alive. And this is how a lot of you guys is, man. You're dead. You're dead. Yeah, you got breath in your body. You got the blood running warm through your body, but you just a dead situation. You have nothing going for yourself. You can't get nothing off the ground. You can't accomplish nothing. You can't achieve nothing. You can't do anything monumental. You can't maximize anything that is worthwhile in your life because you're dead. Why? Because you're not willing to make the sacrifice. Listen, something have to die in order for you to be great. Even when it comes to the truth, the reason why we're in this truth, because someone died. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who in the world commonly called Jesus. He had to sacrifice himself for us to be in his truth. But yet at the same time, he tell us to take up our own cross. Means self-sacrifice. Some days you got to sacrifice in this life. And if you want to reach a higher level of success, if you really want to be known among your peers and be that guy or be that woman, don't talk about it. You could talk yourself up all you want. And just like this comedian yesterday, he talked himself up all, I'm on a show with this person. I got a show tomorrow. Listen, Ninja, you here to tell jokes. Nobody want to hear about the shows you got going on tomorrow. Nobody want to hear about who you on the show with. We want to hear, can you make us laugh now? Right? And you got a lot of people that's talking. That's all they doing is talking, but no results. No results. Where is your return of investments?
Jim, let's go to the sand dunes. You gotta be obsessed with it.
My grandfather used to tell me and my brother and I all the time.
Listen, I know I keep stopping. I know a lot of guys been saying, let it play. No, man, we got to break it down right now. You hear that? You have to be obsessed with it. You have to be obsessed with greatness. And a lot of people, they are defeated. A lot of people not seeing what they want to see. A lot of people is not experiencing what they want to experience because they are not obsessed. When you become obsessed with it, nothing can stop you. Even heaven itself will come and put a step of approval on what you're doing to ensure that you reach that level of success because you are obsessed with it. The problem is with a lot of you men, and even you few sisters, the problem is you are possessed. Right? Not only with demons, but you possessed with laziness. You possessed with slothfulness. You are possessed with excuses. But when you really want something, you become obsessed with it. And Paul Pierce on the show, that's what he's saying. The reason why he became a champion, he was the champion in NBA. He won the playoffs. He won the championship because he was obsessed with greatness. He was obsessed with his talent. He was obsessed with being a winner. Right? And to go back to the guy last night, man, the Chase guy, that guy, man, he trash. I hate to say this, man. I know, those of you from the Detroit metro area might get mad at me, but I don't give a cap. He's not obsessed with it. Okay? And some people, You know, it amazes me when they are lazy, when they're slothful. Oh, I don't want to go put in work this. And you know this is what you have been called to do. You know this is what you are great at. But you want to go over here because you think this is an easy path. See, a lot of you brothers, you'll never amount to anything because you're always taking the path for least resistance. Life don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. You have to make sacrifice. And if you ain't down, and speaking particularly of this comedian, if you're not day in and day out coming up with new jokes, working on your delivery, getting in front of the mirror and working on delivery, working on different antics, how you expect to be great? Huh? How you expect the world to call upon you? See, I tell y'all guys time and time again, the scripture over in Habakkuk chapter 2, it's even talking about how the walls talks to each other. The beams talk to each other, right? And the reason why I'm experiencing some type of success on my other channel, Kuttah Spoke of Truth, right? And I'm going to experience success on this channel because I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with it. I daily study. I daily doing research. My mind is obsessed with this. And everything around me know, not just people, everything around me know I'm obsessed with wisdom. I'm obsessed with preaching. I'm obsessed with helping people. I'm obsessed with content. I'm obsessed with this. That's why I was able to write books, right? And sooner or later, if the Most High say the same, next year I have another book coming out. That make 3. I'm obsessed with this. When you're obsessed with something, nothing can stop you. And everything around you would speak to the universe and say, call upon him. Okay? And a lot of you like, man, I want to be big. I want to be famous. I want to be this. But you're not ready. You're not ready. And if the door is open, the opportunity is given you, you're going to make a blunder of it. You're going to be a sad situation. And you'll never be called upon it again because you won't be able to be in a position to seize the opportunity because you're not obsessed with what is hand.
Growing up in rural South Georgia, he said, never mistake habit for hard work. And it took a while for me to understand I had to get older. Mm-hmm. See, people do things over and over and think they're working hard. Yeah. Just because you go to the gym every day, that don't mean you're working hard. You're doing that out of habit.
For sure.
So people mistake habit for hard work. And when they don't get the results, see, you can't complain about the results you didn't get for the work you didn't put in.
Right.
Bingo. You can't complain about the results you didn't get because of the work that you didn't put in. Why? Because like he said, a lot of people mistake habit for hard work. That's what they do. And this guy, this Chase guy, that's what he been doing. I mean, yeah, he get called upon for a lot of shows, right? He get called upon to be host and whatnot, but he'll never be on the level of Corey Holcomb, on the level of Dave Chappelle, whatever the case may be, because these type of people, they're not obsessed with their craft. If they're going to say this is their craft, they're not obsessed with it. You have to be obsessed with it. And you can't be doing something out of habit and saying you put in work. That's not putting in work. It's a habit to be a host 3 days. That's something that's habitual. That's a habit. But what are you doing when you're not doing what is a habit? What are you doing to improve, to sharpen that skill, to sharpen that talent? Huh? And the problem is, a lot of you guys and women, you're showing up to a knife fight, but you're losing because your knife, your sword is dull. You ain't been sharpening. You have to sharpen your skill. You have to sharpen your sword. Become obsessed with it. And don't complain. Don't make no excuse, because he was up there making excuses. Oh, this crowd, oh, this. And I know that's an excuse. It's only showing that you ain't been putting in work. You're not properly prepared.
Man, Coach messed over me, man. I was spoke, man. Hey, Paul, wasn't I better than you in the 8th grade? Paul, wasn't I better than you?
You sure was. Yeah, you was, dog. But you got
chose
complacent.
Exactly.
You got complacent.
But it's funny to hear other athletes say it. And if you've been a professional athlete, you understand what it takes to get to that level.
Yeah.
Man, coach just like you. Coach ain't putting no ball in the basket. Coach ain't catching no passes.
See, those people is excuse makers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like when my mom was like, you know, she always told me like, listen, dog, you gonna forge your own path and don't get discouraged, but you got to put in the work. But like, don't make excuses for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's on you. Yes. If something happens, it's on you.
Correct.
Don't stop blaming everybody else, because you're gonna spend the rest of your life blaming everybody else for your failures.
Yes.
I blame me for every time I mess up something,
That's the only person.
and then I can get over it better.
You see, too many guys is making excuses. They are full of excuses. And whenever you make excuse, guess what? Complacency sets in because it's your excuse that making you complacent and comfortable where you are. You ain't doing nothing monumental because you're complacent, and you're complacent because of your excuse. You have to understand that complacency is what? The enemy of progress. And there's so many people in their sector of life is not progressing because they are complacent. They're complacent, right? And like I go back to myself, use myself as a prime example. Kuttah spoken truth is growing. It's not by my power, not by my might, but by the spirit of Yahweh. But when you go and look at my studio, it's saying that I have over the past 28 days, and it's not much, but it's growing. Past 28 days, 230 plus subscribers. It's steady growing. That's progress. I'm not complacent. I'm always looking for ways to help my people. I'm always looking for ways to teach. I'm always looking for ways to enlighten, to educate, to empower, to encourage people. Right? And I'm not doing it just to, get a dollar. Like some, that, when you're moving by the power of the Most High, all that stuff will come if you're living right, if you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But a lot of these guys, like this Chase guy, he just get out there and got a few laughs, and he gonna keep going with the same old stale jokes, with the same old trash, and ain't putting in no work. Then make excuse. Oh, this is the reason why I did that. No, get rid of your excuses because your excuses got you complacent. Remember, complacency is the enemy of all progress. When you comfortable, you stop growing, right? And so many of y'all is in a tragic situation, in a tragic predicament. Why? Because the tragedy of life is not that it ends so soon, but that you wait so long to get started with being obsessed with what is hand. A lot of you sinking, never to ride no more. And this guy, he's in this predicament. This Chase guy, he's in this predicament, man. If he don't wake up, man, if he don't, start taking his craft serious, listen, he's not going to rise. He's not going to rise. And I want to tell y'all guys, man, the minute you start settling in life, I'm settling on. The minute you start settling in life is the minute you start sinking, man. You start sinking. And a lot of you are in prison to your excuse. You're in prison to your complacency, right? And it's just dangerous. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Your comfort, your complacency is your drug. You get high off your own complacency each and every day. And this Chase guy, this is where he at. He been getting high off his complacency. He been getting high off of false pretense. He been getting high off of excuses. All right. And I don't know. I keep, you see me move the mouse, keep trying to play it, but I just got to keep harping on this complacency because I understand complacency has killed more dreams than failure ever had. Did you hear me? Let me hit that air horn. Complacency has killed more dreams than failure ever had in this life. And this is what you got to understand. This is what you got to understand. And a lot of you, like I said, it's a dead situation. You're still breathing, but you're dead. Why? Because your complacency has put you in a coffin of life. You hear me? Your complacency has put you in the coffin of life. You walking around here dead, but you in a coffin because you're complacent. Stop being comfortable. You're rusted out. When a car sits so long, it starts to rust out when you don't use it. That's what complacency doing with you. You're rusting out. Can't accomplish anything. Complacency have you moving like a coward and got you keep procrastinating. I'm going to do it later. You ain't going to never get to it. If you don't start now, you're never going to get to it.
Yes.
So it's easy.
But you grew up you started your first 9 years was in Oakland, then you come to Inglewood.
Yeah.
The gang culture was heavily in both areas.
Yeah,
How did
for that? He going to talk about something else, but I had to come on and talk about it because it reminded me of last night, man. This guy, man, it was atrocious. It was horrendous. It was horrible, right? And you got a lot of people. I tell people around me, man, don't ever become complacent. Every time you become complacent, you is setting up your own coffin for you to get in. Right? Every time you say, I do it later, you just gave your purpose another funeral. Y'all killing your own self. Y'all killing your own admirations. Or should I say aspirations? That's the right word. Y'all killing your own aspirations, your own dreams. Right? You sit up here all day talking about, man. How many times you gonna say, man, get up and do something? You're on your phone anyway. You're on your tablet anyway. Get up and write. Get up and work. Get up and do some research. Right? Get up and do something about it. Y'all put on Nike. Ain't that what Nike logo, his popular saying is? Just do it. Get up and do something. You know, one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is Second Kings chapter 7. When the 4 lepers, they were sitting around complaining, talking about they was getting ready to die. They didn't have no food. They was in the famine. And one of the lepers said, why sit here until we die? This is the mindset you got to have. Why I'm going to sit here until, listen, you can sit up here and look at your bills all day. You can sit up here and look at your circumstances all day. You can sit up here and say, I wish this had happened. I wish I could do the. Get up and do something. Each and every day you can do something towards progress. But as long as you complacent, as long as you making excuses, as long as you're looking for the easy way out, the least passive resistant, you're comfortable, you're dead. Right? And as I said, the moment you settle in life, the moment you start sinking, and a lot of you are sinking never to rise no more. All right, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for your boy. All right, peace.